All right, let's talk about Michigan State. They got a big win today in Miami. All right. They upkept my parlay today. But West Virginia destroyed my parlay today. So, I mean, yeah, Virginia Tech losing destroyed my parlay. So, shout out to sorry Virginia Tech, man. I can't stand y'all football team right now, man. We're Frank Beamer at when you need him. All right, but yeah, Michigan State had a big win down there. I was watching, they had the lead and come back. I was watching, it was like 17 to like 7, and then you blink, and then the game balloons to like what was it? I'm trying to pull it up now, 37, 38 to 17. And Derek King had a lot of hype behind him. Seemed like the media really getting behind him and his story. And he did his part. To be honest, he threw 2 picks, but he did his part today. He did his part today, but when you look at Michigan State, their defense was just too good today. All right, but they offense coming along as well too. So let me share this. Their offense is coming along too. I didn't watch Michigan today. I didn't have any interest in them beating up on Northern Illinois, but their quarterback. I didn't know Michigan State quarterback was, and I didn't watch 2 of their games. Thorne, he was 18 for 31, 264 for touchdown. Was a question coming into the season: would he be the quarterback again this year? And he was the quarterback again this year. So he did. He took it by the reins, and I think everybody's surprised by the offense. And the MVP for Michigan State, it might be the MVP of the Big Ten, is Kenneth Walker Jr. All right, Kenneth Walker III. He's been great. He gave them the explosive factor, and that's why the run game is a quarterback and the defense's best friend. Even the special teams, if you do it successfully, it gives you a better field position. But Kenneth Walker III has been a great pickup for them. And like I said before, if you asked me before the season, I'm a huge Michigan fan. If you ask me which coach that I trust coming into you ask me which coach I trusted coming into season more between Jim Harbaugh and Mel Tucker, I would have told you Mel Tucker. It's just, even they beat Michigan last year, just something was different about something different for me. It was something different about Michigan State last year when they beat Michigan, and they had confusion at the quarterback. It was just something different about them, and I think Mel Tucker, he did a great. And where you come from, Colorado, they doing a great job this year. But I mean, Kenneth Walker has been the best pickup probably in the Big Ten so far through 3 weeks. And they got some really good receivers, and their defense is really good. My issue with them early on, they was giving Miami receivers too much cushion. Okay, they was giving Miami receivers too much cushion. All right, and the Heat was getting to Michigan State. They built the artificial like sun tent on the sideline. The Heat was getting to them. I don't even know what the weather in Miami was like. I know. Summer isn't officially over till I think in September 22nd is officially when it's over and fall start. But yeah, it's 83 degrees down there. They was acting like it was 90 degrees down there. You know what I'm saying? But I guess with the humidity off the water, humid heat is worse than any other heat. With the humidity, I'm guessing that was an issue. But they was playing off the receivers a lot today, and they was getting cooked. And I'm like, man, why they don't tighten up? They respected Miami's speed too much. But Miami, their receivers started dropping some balls, and Michigan State cornerback started to get a little bit brave. They started challenging the receivers at the bottom of scrimmage, and they was respecting the speed before they even snapped the football, before a coin was tossed, before they even walked into the stadium. They was respecting Miami's speed. But Miami always gonna have speed and athleticism, but do they have the skill? In the day, their receivers didn't do Derek King no favors. They didn't do Derek King. I'm surprised they don't sell drops. Rambo was a big part, but when you dropping balls, that makes Derek King more inaccurate too. But their receiver core got a lot of speed. The issue with Miami, they like the Raiders. They value athleticism and speed over skill set. And I think Miami got to find a way to recreate the state of Miami, and they got to find a way to incorporate skill with the athleticism. They got to look for football players before they look for athletes. And that, at one point they had a great mixture of both. They recruited athletes. I mean, they recruited football players that just happen to be athletes. And what they're doing at Miami now, they recruiting athletes hoping they could be football players. And not every athlete is going to turn into a football player. Not every track star going to be a Heisman Trophy winner or something of that nature. But, I mean, you know, they don't show the sacks like the pros. But King, he lost 2 fumbles, fumbled twice, lost 2 fumbles. I mean, he threw 2 picks. So 4 turnovers right there. Four turnovers. They have 4 to Michigan State 0. That's the sign of a great football team. You look at all the stats. Michigan State beat them in penalties. 9 penalties, 80 yards. 10 penalties, 93 yards. You feel what I'm saying? So you look at that, they beat them in penalties. They beat them in rushing yards, In Miami, I'm pretty sure beat them in pass yards, but that don't matter. Even if you don't turn the ball over, I'd rather rush for 200 or 300 yards than pass for 388 yards, because passing the football don't really wear nobody out. When you running the football and you imposing your will on a defensive front seven, you imposing your will on a defense, you know what happens? What happens is they start to wear down. When you passing the ball, I mean, unless you go and hurry up, you start to wear down. But when you run the football, you start to run it. He started to wear the defense out. Miami was a favorite coming in this game. And Michigan State had they not handled Northwestern the way they handled them, I don't know if I would have had faith in them. But they beat them. Time of possession, they beat them. Anywhere that was important, they beat them. Turnovers is where they beat them the best at. In the fourth quarter was the difference. Michigan State found the second win. They got turnovers, 21-3. Look, everywhere else is even for the most part. Michigan State did win the second quarter. They tied in the first and third in the 21 points. And they hyped Derek King up all this season. They was typing about how they gonna beat Bama, how they gonna do this, how they gonna do that, and that didn't happen tonight. And they got all the sexy stats over there, you know what I'm saying? 156 yards for Rambo. 388 yards passing for Derek King. You don't want to be passing that much of nobody, bro. But like I said before, man, I mean, Michigan State is a really, really good football program. I think people need to start respecting it. I think, they made the playoffs before Michigan. I'm a Michigan fan, but you got to admit it, they made the playoffs before Michigan. And it seemed like they got a better coach, and they got to be ranked at least the top 15. Like the announcer said today, they got to be ranked at least in the top 15. They got to be ranked at least in the top 15, come Monday or Tuesday when they release the polls. Really good football team. And this is what happened when, you got somebody that pick up where their old coach left off at, but their old coach was he was too old school. He was just too old. Now you got somebody that's starting to put a little bit of flavor on the offensive side of the football, and they continue to keep the principles on the defensive side of the football, and even modernize the defensive side of the football. And this is what you get. This is what you get. You get a really, really good football team, and now you got your quarterback for now. I mean, I just think when they start winning here in Michigan State, and I think it's a matter of if and not when. If and not when, they're gonna win. So they're gonna win football games there. They might compete for a national championship. But so I did not watch this game. So I will give you this disclaimer. I didn't really care. When I started watching, it was up 18. I knew what time it is, but it's kind of the stats, and I'm not surprised. Northern Illinois, but I still would rank Michigan State over Michigan. Michigan ain't beat nobody. They ain't played nobody. They look good on paper. They got 60-yard plays and all this, that, and third. They got Crooms doing things, but they ain't been tested. They won't be tested till they go on the road against Michigan, against Wisconsin. And then they go down the road versus Wisconsin, and then they go. Hold on, can't show that. Wisconsin, Rutgers, and Wisconsin. Michigan State on the road. So Wisconsin, their next challenge, and after Wisconsin, day before Halloween is Michigan State. So, we'll see what happens, man. Really, really good football game for Michigan State. Michigan did what they supposed to do, but that wasn't as important as what Michigan State did. Michigan State made a statement saying we were the underdogs and we better than the ACC. And I think they probably smacked Clemson. Clemson playing Wake Forest right now. They probably smacked Clemson. So I think they'll be top 15. I think they might be one of the 10 best football teams in the nation, but we got to wait and see. But let me know what you guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The best way to donate to the channel, thumbs up, share the video, subscribe. Want to make a financial donation, Cash App, CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. I appreciate the financial donations. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You got any questions, business questions, inquiry, sponsorships, videos. Twitter's the fastest way than Facebook and Instagram. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.